Good evening, Fernwood. It is your one day at a time pal here, Neil, and it is time for our non binge watch of Mary Hartman. Mary Hartman. Today's episode is June 7th, 1976's, and it's a Monday, so let's kind of cover some of the things from the week, and then we'll look at specifically last Friday's episode, which was pretty emotional. So, the big other point that wasn't covered in Friday's episode is Loretta and Charlie, and they've had a little bit of a rift between them because Loretta really wants to be involved in the church of Jimmy Joe and Merle Jeters, and that has maybe caused a little bit of split between them. Not only is Loretta a little bit too involved with the church, but also she is planning to give all of the funds from the song Vitamin L that she plans to record to the church. So basically, all of the profits, all of the earning power that Loretta has is not going to be put into the home or any of that stuff. It's just going to go straight to Merle Jeters, who we know is a scalawag and is definitely scamming for money. You know, sort of a very proto televangelist energy going on there. Even Jimmy Joe Jeters is questioning the motives of Merle when it comes to the sermon that Jimmy Joe is putting on television. And so, well, that seems to be a bit of a dialogue that will be evolving as we go. That's the main storyline that wasn't touched upon last Friday. Let's look at Friday. And that began with a book salesman coming to Mary Hartman's kitchen to sell a series of the great works. That in itself is not necessarily that interesting, except that when Howard McCullough comes over for a visit, the book salesman recognizes him from a previous city. And not only does the book salesman recognize Howard, but outs Howard and Ed as gay lovers to Mary. Mary has plenty of other things on her mind, as we will come back to see in a moment. But the next scene starts with Kathy and Father DeMarco. Kathy had recently been talking to Cleet Meisenheimer about joining the television staff as the kitchen cookie for the morning cooking show. Everyone says the show is the pits, but Cleet seems to be very confident that Kathy will be great on the show and a great boon to the show. But really, what's more important here is that Kathy has feelings for Father DeMarco. Father DeMarco feels like that's an inappropriate situation, and rightfully so. Then we get a visit from Tom to Mary at home. Sometimes we see them loving each other and sometimes we see them fighting. And this was really awful fight. Just a really, it's bad on both ends. It's just not a good fight. And that, after Tom leaves, drives Mary into the arms of Dennis Foley, whom, if you didn't know, if you were just meeting up with us this week, they slept together just a couple weeks ago. And in terms of episodes, Dennis is definitely less concerned with Mary's feelings over Tom than he is with Mary's feelings for him. Mary certainly has feelings for both Tom and Dennis. She's got to resolve the feelings she has for Tom before getting involved with Dennis, if you ask me. But Dennis doesn't seem to care about that set of feelings. He only wants to foster the thing that makes his fire burn brighter. I guess that's where we're going to go. That's my recap of last week. Let's go ahead and get started on June 7th, 1976's episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman.
Junk mail on top of junk mail. I've never seen anything like it. It's getting heavier than ever. Oh, Lord. Look, all over the place. Oh, here's something called Boys Village. I wonder if that's anything like Boys Town. What does it say? No. It's a quiet haven for homosexuals underprivileged homosexuals. Lordy, Lordy, everybody wants money. I've never seen anything like it. And here's another sample of that soap. Remember that soap I used last week? It's the same kind. I got that terrible, terrible rash. It smells good. I guess I'll save it for George. Oh. Oh, what's this? Oh, yeah. Do not open unless you are 21. What's that? Well, what are they doing? They don't look 21 to me. For Lord's sakes. Now that's not new. They're trying to pretend it's new. People have been doing that for years. Years and years. They're just plain old-fashioned dirty pictures. I don't see how people are allowed to send that through the mails. But I guess the post office is so broke that they'll do anything to make a couple of cents. Let's see now. Where is it? Oh, they should have sent that from a Dr. Fund. I know they should have sent it. Here it is. It is a letter from a Dr. Fund. Maybe they have solved the mystery of who I am. Maybe my identity is right inside this little letter.
Don't fan yourself with it. Open it.
Oh, Pa, I'm too excited. I feel like about to receive some wonderful award. And now, the envelope, please.
Martha, will you open the letter? I didn't see the picture, but I still like to know if you won.
Okay, here you go. Oh, boy. Oh dear. So far, I'm still Martha Shumway. Contact was made with all adoption agencies in and around Macon, Georgia, but no records could be located concerning your adoption by Raymond and Grace Larkin of that city. Oh, I'm so disappointed.
Why? What difference does it make? You still have me, Martha. I don't know for how long, of course.
Oh, Paul, I know. I love you. But this is something I just want to find out. Now, let's see. It says here that they are going to continue the search based on the leads we gave them.
Where's the peanut butter?
But they need further remuneration. See form enclosed.
What's his name? Who like that? The tight one.
Well, let me see. It's only an extra $35. I could take that out of my household budget. Yes, we can eat restructured roast and noodle-roni for the rest of our lives.
I always loved the noodle-only commercials. I think I'll go in and watch TV. They might have one on now.
Oh, Betty, hello.
Oh, Martha. Martha, I am just so sorry.
Huh? About what?
About the divorce, Mary and Tom. I just heard. Of course, I did have intimations that it was on the way. I mean, with Mary's Libra rising and her natal sun in the 8th house, and Tom's 8th house without any fire or air. Oh, I just knew they were in trouble.
You did?
And then, of course, Mary being an 8 and Tom a 4.
Oh, it is just a marvel the way you can determine the future as well as to read the past, too.
Well, it certainly comes in handy. For instance, I could tell that Mary and my son Howard were going to hit it off by their charts. They are so compatible.
Their charts?
Which means they are. Don't you think it's remarkable the way Mary and Howard have become such good friends in such a short time?
Oh, remarkable. Just remarkable. Betty, I was wondering if you could give me a clue as to who I really am by reading my palm here.
excited this morning because after reading Howard's chart, I just saw this remarkable compatibility with Mary.
Do you suppose you could actually give me locations or anything like that?
Oh, well, yes,
Hey, you want a cup of John?
I just got a little scratchy throat, you know.
Yeah.
So I took some vitamin C.
And washed him down with a little Jack Daniels.
Yeah, it really works, you know.
Sure, just like snake oil and
That's
once.
good, yeah. I needed a drink, yeah. I really needed a drink.
At 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah, 7:30 in the morning. I needed a drink, yeah.
Boy, you must have had a rough time when you went over to see Mary last night.
Yeah. I just saw her for a few minutes, you know.
And then what?
I got drunk.
Yeah, I know that part. I mean, what happened with Mary?
Nothing. I don't even know why the hell I went over there. I mean, I don't even know why. I thought maybe we could talk, you know, just sit down and talk, but none of the damn words came out right. Nothing. I don't. All I know is I went over there and I didn't go over there to tell her I wanted a divorce, but that's what I ended up.
What'd she say?
She said she felt sorry for me. I mean, I could feel it. She didn't really say that, but I could feel it. You know, I hated that, Ed. I mean, I really hate. I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me, for God's sakes. I mean, what the hell? What the hell? It's all over anyway. What the hell?
Hey, look, I don't want to preach or anything, but that isn't the answer.
Oh, I know. I should. I'm gonna put this bottle away.
Listen, what about the group sessions?
Come on, Alfred, where you caught? I don't need no damn group sessions. The hell is it with you? I put the bottle away. What the hell do you want from me?
I just want you to get some help. That's all. I'm not talking about just the drinking. I'm talking about, talking it out.
I don't want to talk it out. I don't need those kind of group sessions. Those are for drunks, for God's sakes. I'm not a problem. Those guys are problems. I'm not an alcoholic, for God's sakes. Come on. I can quit. I can quit. I can
Well, if you
quit
don't,
like
you're
that.
going to get fired.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You want to know why they want me to go to those sessions? I'll tell you
Why?
Why? Because union management and the big brass, they want to keep tabs on me. They want to know what the hell I'm doing all the time. It's a spy network. That's what it is. And then you spill your guts out in those meetings, you see. And then they got information on you. See, they're trying to get me in. I swear to you. They're trying to
You're
get
really
me in.
uptight.
No, I'm not.
Look, I'm telling you, that's all they are is group sessions. That's all I think I might do. You said, well, let's just give it a shot, will you? Yeah, so we're just on our way out.
Look, Ed, I want to talk to you, huh?
Sure.
Alone, if you don't mind, Tom.
Huh? What? Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Excuse me.
Look, I wasn't going to tell you last night. I was going to tell you last night, and I changed my mind, and now I've changed my mind again. I'm going to tell you. I think Mary knows about us.
Really?
What do you mean, oh, really? I said she knows.
Right, all right, so she knows.
Well, I feel rotten about it.
Why, Howard?
How can you ask a dumb question like that?
Because I don't think it's a dumb question.
Well, we can't go into all that now. Oh, man, you know how I feel about it.
How'd she find out?
Well, I stopped by her house last night, and Pete Schwimmer was there from Great Classics.
Pete Schwimmer.
Yeah, you know, the book salesman. He was the guy that was in the office when you slugged Roy.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he recognized me.
Well, if she knows, she knows. And if she's any kind of friend of yours, Howard, I don't see what difference it makes.
Well, I don't think it makes any difference to her, but her whole house is kind of a clearing station for the neighborhood. It makes me uneasy whether she knows or not.
So why don't you ask her?
No, sure. I'll just go over and say, hi, Mary. I guess Pete told you I'm gay, huh? Sure.
Well, it seems easy enough. But, you can't do it.
No, not yet, huh? Oh, I just wish we hadn't told everybody we were brothers when we moved into the neighborhood.
Who the hell's idea was that?
I know.
Look, Howard, since it means so much to you whether Mary knows or not, I'll ask her.
No. Yeah, she knows, she knows. That's gonna make it worse.
Maybe if we were honest with her, it'd make it better.
Clete?
Hey! You look fabulous. Gangbusters, Kathy. And you're really good on the show. I watched it on the monitor.
Really, you think so?
Oh, yeah. Would I lie about a thing like that?
Oh, well, sometimes I think you just might.
Well, not about talent, Kathy. Talent is sacred to me. A person either has it or not. And believe me, you've got it.
How can you be sure? I mean, all I did was I spilled the fondue as I was putting it on the stove, and then I just stood there and watched the chef do his thing.
No. It's the way that you stood there. I mean, it just came through, you know? You see, television is such an intimate medium that an awful lot depends on a person's personality. And you've got a heck of a lot of that. How about lunch?
Oh, well, I can't. You see, I just came to say thank you and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I can't afford to work here anymore.
What do you mean?
Well, Feasting in Fernwood is on 2 times a week, and all I get is $9 a show, and I gotta get a job that pays more money, or else I've gotta go back to beauty school.
Oh. Wait a minute. Hold everything. Why didn't I think of this before?
What?
There's a way that you can still be the kitchen cookie and work for me, too.
What kind of work?
How would you like to be on the action news team?
Me, really? I mean, an action news person?
Well, now, wait a minute. I don't mean on the air, Kathy. What I mean is, well, that takes time to work up to, right? What I'm talking about is I put you on staff as like, a coordinator, as it were.
That'll be fantastic. A program coordinator. Oh, that would be terrific. It sounds so professional and technical. Oh, and so difficult. I don't know if I'll be able to do that.
Oh, hey, it's a lead pipe cinch. Just leave it to me, okay? Hi, personnel? CM. Cleat. Yeah. Never mind filling that gopher job. I've got somebody for the job. Yeah. All right, thank you.
Gopher?
Oh, that's showbiz for coordinator. See, what that is that you go for coffee and you go for wire copy and all like that. That's why it's called gopher.
Oh.
Oh, hey, Kathy, it's a great place to learn the TV game. All the big name execs started there. Me. Heads of networks. This new guy, Whistler, they named the head of CBS. He started in the mailroom. I'm telling you, you learn all about the industry, top to bottom, from a real expert. Me.
Well, okay, why not? You got yourself a new program coordinator.
Good.
So, what do you want me to go for?
Lunch with me. Come on.
Hi, Mary. Oh, I'll tell you, I'm just wide-eyed and bushy-tailed today. I've been rehearsing all morning with the 101 Fountain of the Light Heavenly Holy Choir. How are you?
Fine. Do
Good.
you think it's worth peeling one potato?
Worth what, hun?
I'm making mashed potatoes.
Oh.
I'm making mashed potato. I'm just using one potato because it's for Heather and me. Just us.
Let's see. Well, you know, actually, one stays mashed up, hun. I don't think you can tell the difference between whether there's one potato in there, too. This thing just kills me, you know it? This red phone here. Because you know what? Every time I look at it, I expect it to ring and for President Ford to be on the other end of the line.
Ah, but that's because he needs help. No. He could call me on that, but he could only call me if it was like a personal call, personal help on. I could help him with anything personal.
Oh,
Not the big stuff, though.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you something, Mary. The Fords don't have no personal problems. Him and his first mama.
First mama?
Isn't that the cutest thing you ever heard? See, that's the name that Betty uses when she's broadcasting on her CB.
I don't know what you're talking about.
CB, Mary, it's Citizen Bands Radio. You know, like Smokey, Rubber Duck, 10-4 over and out, Roger Wilco, catch
If I make 2 mashed potatoes, would you and Charlie come for dinner?
Oh, Mary,
We'll have something else besides.
Oh, right. And we appreciate the offer, honey. We really do. But you know what I got to do tonight?
What?
I got to practice for my recording session tomorrow night. Poor little Charlie, bless his little old bald self, honey. He thinks that I'm kind of swerving off the road, you know, of my career interests and desires and stuff. But I'm not. You know that I'm not. But anyway, the point is, since I got my recording session tomorrow night, I got to go home and work up a storm.
Well, you gonna do that new song?
Right, biting the nail. And Mary, I want you to know, honey, that it means so much for you to be there tomorrow. Not only because you're my best friend, you know, but also because you was there the last time and you was such good luck for my recording session. And also, even though it did turn out bad in the end, but it was probably the will of God. And anyway, it did lead me to the path of here now.
That is amazing how you can do that.
What?
In one breath like that.
Oh, Mary, honey, if you're a professional singer, you can do that, see, because you have to build up lung power and breath control, and that gives you the capacity.
You know what? I was thinking about that other session. You know, the first session.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I was just thinking, at that session, I remember that, and that was like just the beginning. When Tom and I started having problems. It just seemed so long ago. And then our problems just started having problems, and now Tom wants a divorce.
You know, Charlie told me that, but I was just hoping it wasn't true.
It's true.
Oh, Mary, honey. Now listen here, right now, we're just not going to believe a word of it. No, we're not. Nope, because I'll tell you what, where there's a will, there's a way, and where there's hope and prayer, well, there's forgiveness and there's love. And I'll tell you, there's plenty of love between you and Tom, and it's just not going to happen, and that's it. It's there.
See, you did that again. It's amazing. How do you do that in one breath like that?
Well, remember I told you before.
Lung power, right?
Breath
control.
Right. Anyway, listen, Mary, I got to be going because Charlie's, you know, waiting back for me to rehearse and everything. But if I don't talk to you before, right, then I will see you at the recording session tomorrow night. Okay?
Okay.
All right, then. Oh, listen, I'll get this on the way out.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, Miss Haggers.
How are you? I'll see you later, Rick.
Okay, bye. Bye.
Okay, if I come in a minute?
Oh, sure. Is anything wrong? I mean, did Heather do anything?
No, nothing's wrong. I'd just like to talk to you. Actually, I'm here because of Howard.
Your brother?
Well, that's what I'm here to find out.
You here to find out if he's your brother?
Look, Mary, Howard thinks that you know something about us.
Oh, well, I know a lot about you. I mean, I know a lot. It's normal things. Normal things. You know, I don't, know others. I know, you're, tall and strong. That you are a tall, strong person. I know he is a thinner person. He is taller and thinner than you. I know that. I know other things. I know a lot of, different kinds of things. I know that Tom is staying at your house, for which I'm very appreciative. And I know that Betty, you know, does astrology and works with us cards. And
Mary, did that book salesman tell you anything?
Yes, he told me how to get the classics for only pennies a day.
No, I mean anything about us, about Howard and me.
I don't quite remember what it is that he said.
Did he tell you we were gay?
That was it. Yeah.
Well, it's true. We're not brothers. We've been living together for years. Howard finds it difficult to admit people being the way they are. In fact, he's pretty upset because he thinks you know.
Really? Well, I wouldn't, I would never...
I guess what I'm trying to say is, Mary, that I hope you won't make a big deal out of this. I mean, we've been hassled before, and things can get kind of unpleasant sometimes, you know.
Ed, to me, people are people. I mean, I don't care if they're fat, if they're bald, if they're old, if they're bald. I mean, people are people. Does Tom know about this?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, did you tell Tom? I mean, not that it would make any difference to Tom.
Oh, no, I don't think he knows. I mean, we certainly didn't sit him down and tell him.
Oh, well, it wouldn't make any difference to Tom. I mean, to Tom, nothing makes any difference.
Welcome to the week, everyone. Martha gets a bunch of mail and has a little monologue about how things are in the 1970s. I think it's an interesting perspective, and I kind of want to know inside of Martha's brain a little bit more. But immediately after that, we find that she's been looking for that adoption letter, which is something I forgot to tell you about earlier. It seems a little bit scamish that they just want more money. And $35 she sent them the first time, they're asking for another $35. In 1970s money, that's a couple $100. It's not nothing. I think that's what $35 was in 1970s. Don't ask me, I'm not going to convert it, but family is family. I don't know if Martha finding out something about her past is going to make a huge difference in her life, but you never know. So, something did strike me, though, this episode, and that is how differently Martha speaks to the way that Raymond speaks. And considering that they have lived together since her very early childhood, it surprises me that, and it never occurred to me that Martha has a southern accent. She's from Macon, Georgia. And at some point, Raymond must have lived there too, and that surprises me. I feel like Raymond might be from somewhere else. So maybe that's why Martha has her very distinct accent and George does not. Maybe George moved from somewhere else. Who knows? After that, Betty shows up for a visit, and the main thrust of Betty's visit is, hey, let's put Howard and Mary together. And they have enough on their plates, to be honest. I've said it again and again. There you go. After that, we see Tom. And Tom is as drunk as ever. He's been so much using that self-medication. Well, I don't want to call alcohol medicine, but you know what I mean. He's definitely trying to hide his pain. And Howard gives him a honest talking to, which Tom evades. He says that he can quit. I think in the 1970s and even longer after that, the picture of what an alcoholic was, the popular picture of what an alcoholic was someone on the street with sitting on a stoop or something, just drinking. To basically the picture of an alcoholic at that time was someone who was lying in the gutter drunk. And that's really not what alcoholism is. That's just one very extreme picture, one very extreme stereotype. But clearly, if you are drinking to cover pain, that's enough, if you ask me. And I think even less than what Tom has done, because Tom is like visibly drunk most of the times we've seen him, in the last week at least, that you could drink less and I'd still consider you in need of help, perhaps. Not that I'm trying to judge people, but that's where I stand. Maybe if you want to expand on your thoughts on alcoholism. I don't have a lot of experience from it, but I can see it and it hurts to watch Tom go through it. Then, at the television station, the Action 6 News team gets a new gopher. And what a kitchen cookie outfit. Kathy's adorable, yet Cleet, which I now learn is spelled with a C, Cleet Meisenheimer, is definitely skeezy. I mean, he's offered Kathy a job, and that's nice because she needs one, but also continues to put pressure on her in romantic ways. And perhaps Kathy could speak up, but I think she's clearly not interested in that. And to tie together a job situation with a romantic push is gross. And I don't know how that was viewed in the 1970s. Certainly, from my perspective, it's not cool. And I liked Cleet so much. Really, but basically because Cleet's kind of a clown. And then Loretta and Mary catch up, but really the impact of, but for me, the impactful part of the sequence there was Ed coming over and asking Mary what's going on, the confrontation. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. Ed comes out for both himself and Howard, and Mary puts on her uncomfortable voice. She's very clearly uncomfortable with this fact because when she raises her voice that way, we know she is trying to cover things that she is feeling. I don't know how she really feels about gayness. I don't think she, at this point, might have met anyone who has been gay. And in the mid 70s, it was definitely way less culturally acceptable than it is today. I suppose that's a conversation that we will see as we move forward. So I guess at this point, thanks for coming along. And we will see you tomorrow night